Using tangible worksheets in the classroom has a threefold benefit, I think. One, it lets students show their knowledge, show what they know in a way that isn't performance-based. And I know as music teachers, we want to have our assessments and our practice be performance-based. Music is a performing art. However, using tangible worksheets can help students find another outlet to show these skills that maybe they're not otherwise comfortable showing in a more public performative setting. Number two, it lets you move into more of a facilitator role. I know it's easy for music teachers to feel like they are performing, they're on all the time during a class period. And if you have 4, 5, 6 classes in a row, you are on the whole time. The general music classroom does not work like that. Teachers are circulating, they're doing whole class, then maybe small group or maybe individual. You can bring that into the music room, and tangible worksheets is one way to do that because it lets you facilitate while students are having a more active role in their own learning. And three, it gives you a tangible result. You can look at these papers and check to see if students demonstrated the skill or if students maybe aren't quite there yet. You can use worksheets that can give you bulletin board materials or student presentation materials. You can take pictures of them and send them out in newsletters if you send newsletters home to families. You can put them into your own teacher portfolio, like digital portfolios that you may use to collect evidence to support your teacher goal. It's something you can show administrators or observers as evidence of student learning. So what kind of tangible worksheets can you use in your classroom that aren't just engaging, but have meaning for you as the teacher and the student as the demonstrator of learning? One of my favorite types of worksheets that I use frequently in my classroom with grades 1 and 2, but you could possibly adapt for kindergarten, is this simple rhythm worksheet. It's decoding and composing. So this one happens to have a springtime theme. Students are going to decode all of the pictures they see here into either ta or TT. And you can use dot notation, you can use any kind of notation that the students know. So my first graders would be using dots, my second graders would be using stick notation. They decode each picture. Then in these examples down here, they create their own rhythm by putting them together in different combinations and decoding them on the side. So they are translating, they're composing, they're drawing. It's a great way to have students show their understanding and be creative artistically, but musically as well, because they're composing. Something else they can do after this is pair and share, turn and share their rhythms with another student. They can exchange papers and make sure that they decoded correctly. And if they didn't, what do they think the answer really is? This can become a bulletin board display where you could even do sort of a gallery walk, where if you have these stationed around the room, students can go from picture to picture and try performing some of these rhythms. A wonderful way to use these besides just in a rhythm unit is periodically through the year. So maybe one in September, one in December, one in February, one in April, one at the end of the year. I have all different themes in my TPG store, just to have students track, well, it's for you to track student understanding. So maybe the one in September, which would have been like a baseline assessment if they're just learning rhythms, might show that they didn't quite understand which words had 2 syllables or were TT and which had 1 or ta. But by the end of the year, they were totally fluent in all of these and their rhythms were a little more creative or diverse. Another great hands-on rhythm activity are these cut and sort. So there are 16 pictures here, different themes. This happens to be the beach. Students would cut them out, then sort them into categories based on their syllables. So this is the winter rhythm categorization sheet, but let's just pretend it says beach rhythms. They would sort the pictures into either ta or TT based on their syllables. So this is something they can do in stations. You could pre-cut these, laminate them, pre-cut them, set them out. It's something they can do themselves. They can cut the pictures out, they can sort them, they can do it individually, they can do it as a table or a team. This is something that, again, helps you step into more of a facilitator role while students are in charge of their own learning. If you decide that you want students to cut these out themselves and put them on the categorization sheet, you could also have them glue them down, and that could become another bulletin board display or another, maybe not a gallery walk, but a hallway display, something that you could put into a student portfolio if students do student-led conferences, or even if they don't. Having this as something to share with families, you could take a picture of it and put it in a digital portfolio. You could erase the names and you could put this in a newsletter either to your district, or if you send newsletters home to families, you can put this in your own teacher portfolio for your end of year review. Lots of different ways to use tangible worksheets. The main thing is that they're not just time fillers. You can find and use meaningful, tangible worksheets or hands-on activities like cut and sorts in your classroom that will help you improve your instruction, because you can check these and you can help students individually while you circulate instead of in a full class. It's harder to track which students know exactly what you're doing in a full class setting, especially with something like this. It's easier to have students be doing this themselves. You can circulate, you can see, oh, okay, you put chair in the to sound category. Let's try that together. Chair, chair. How many sounds did you hear? You can work more directly with students when they're doing these hands-on individual or team activities. I am all about meaning and joy in the music classroom. Meaning for the students and meaning for you. Meaning for you so you can use what you learn about your students' knowledge and skills and progress to improve and differentiate your instruction. I have a bunch of these kind of worksheets in my TPT store. They're themed by season or holiday. I have them in bundles, I have them individually. You can use them in stations or centers. You could print them out and have them ready to go as subplans. All kinds of ways to use them, but they're meaningful and they're engaging. And that's really what we want in the music classroom, right?